Nowadays you will find a very minority, a small minority, whose ikhtilaf or difference doesn't harm us, who seem to find it very difficult to digest any virtue that has been attributed to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi. They find it difficult to digest anything. And they will raise objections. People can believe this, and you and me do this. We can spend our entire night with our beloved. Isn't that a fact? Just looking at her beautiful face. Or texting the entire night. And texting nonsense. And we can spend the entire night on the internet. But people find it difficult that, that godly people can spend the entire night with their Creator. People find it difficult. My friends, this is just the weakness of Iman. This is the weakness of their Iman. Why? Because they make chaos upon themselves. They look at themselves that they struggle. When they open the book of Allah, they struggle to read a page. It takes them about an hour. So they think everyone's like this. They think everyone's like this. By the grace of Allah, there are people in this day and age still alive. They have such love for Allah and His Rasul and His Kalam that they read the entire Quran in one day. In this 21st century, the era of fitna, even in this era, there are people that read the entire Quran every day. Our Ustad, Allah give him a long life, Mullah Abdurrahim Sahab, reads 30 Qurans without fail, what I know of, in the month of Ramadan. Every day one Quran. Every day one Quran. That's on top of living a normal life. Imam Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi used to read one Quran every day. In the month of Ramadan, following our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because in the month of Ramadan, even our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to exert himself even more. He used to wake up the Azwaj Mutahharat in the last nights and not let them sleep and exert himself even more. Do you understand? Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi in the month of Ramadan used to recite the Quran 60 times. And for those that find it difficult to digest this, maybe you can say, this person who's delivering this lecture is a Hanafi and is probably biased towards him. Haqq will always prevail. Haqq will always prevail. The people that have related these virtues and attributed them to Abu Hanifa, many of them are not even Hanafis. They're Shafi'is. You had Ibn Khalliqan, a great master from the Shafi'i al-Maslak. He's related to all these virtues. You have Abu Nu'aym, Sahib Hilya, a great master, Shafi'i. He's related to all these virtues. You have Khatib Baghdadi, very famous Shafi'i scholar. He's related to all these virtues. You have Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmatullah alayh. He's related to all these virtues. You have Ibn Hajar al-Makki, who was a Shafi'i. He's related to all these virtues. But okay, let me take you a step further. And you have the great Zahabi. And my friend, these scholars that I'm taking names of, anybody that has any knowledge of a hadith, these are all agreed upon. These are masters. You can't compete with these people. World hasn't seen scholars like this. Imam Zahabi goes a step further. And Imam Zahabi says that these worships and this ibadah that Imam Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi would do during the night is proven from Khabar Mutawatir. Anyone who has any knowledge with regards to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam automatically will know Khabar Mutawatir is the most authentic source of evidence. So there is no doubt. No doubt whatsoever. And now let me add to this. It wasn't just the practice of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh. All our Salafus Salihin. If you study the lives of our Salafus Salihin, Uthman ibn Affan radiyallahu ta'ala would recite the entire Quran in one rakat. Tamim Dari radiyallahu ta'ala anhu would recite the entire Quran in one rakat. Abdullah ibn Zubair radiyallahu ta'ala would recite the entire Quran in one rakat. Waqi ibn al-Jarrah would recite the entire Quran in one rakat. Imam Bukhari would recite the entire Quran in one rakat. Imam Shafi'i would do this. Balki Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayh in the month of Ramadan, like Imam Abu Hanifa, would recite 60 Qur'ans On one occasion, with regards to Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, it has been reported that looking for a particular problem in the Quran, in 3 days, he recited the Quran 9 times. Imam Shafi'i recited the Quran 9 times in 3 days, which averages out 3 a day. Such was the love that Imam Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi had for the Quran, that not only would he recite the entire Quran, the adab and ihtaram that he had, that the day his son just learnt Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, he gave his ustad 500 dirhams. And the day his son finished the Al-Fatiha, he gave his ustad 5,000 dirhams. And he said to his ustad, Wallahi law kana indi akthara min dhalik ladafa'nahu ta'ziman lil Quran. I swear by Allah, had I had more than this, then I would have given you more than this, just out for the respect for the Quran. And if this is how much respect he had for his, for his ustad, for his son's ustad, how much respect do you think he had for his own ustad, his own teachers? He himself says, ما صليت صلاة منذ مات حماد إلا استغفرت له ولوالدتي وأبي ولمن تعلم مني وتعلمت منه. Since Hammad ibn Sulaiman has died, by Allah, every prayer that I have offered, after that prayer, I have made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking Allah to forgive my teacher, Hammad ibn Sulaiman, to forgive my mother, my father, my students, and all my teachers. Not once in his entire life he ever spread his leg or pointed his feet towards the house of Hammad ibn Sulaiman. And like, this has got nothing to do with being permissible or impermissible. It's nothing. And there were 7 streets from where he lived between his house and the house of his ustad Hammad ibn Sulaiman. But not once did he ever stretch his legs towards that. My friends, this is how you acquire knowledge. With this adab and ihtaram. And the respect that he had for the other muhaddithin was phenomenal. Muslim ibn Qudam, that very man that died in prostration, he says, it was the habit of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, that all the muhaddithin, whatever he would buy for himself, he would buy for the muhaddithin. Whenever he bought clothes for himself, he would buy clothes for the muhaddithin. And in fruit season, whatever fruit he took for his own family and children, he would buy the same fruit and give it to the muhaddithin, the senior masters. The great Ibn Uyayna once received a gift from Abu Hanifa, and when he saw the size of the gift, he was gobsmacked. And he came and he began to complain to the companions of Abu Hanifa, look at what Imam Abu Hanifa has sent me. You know what his companion said to him? My brother, this is nothing what he sent you. If you look at the gifts that he sends to Sa'id ibn Abi Uruba, you would not even count your gift as a gift. And what he would do was, he was a businessman. He would buy goods. He would send money to Baghdad, buy goods, and sell them in Kufa. And look at Allahu Akbar. And the profit that he would get from selling these goods, he would buy food and clothes for the muhaddithin, for the masters of hadith, those that would do khidmat of the hadith of Rasulullah. And whatever he had left over, he would give it to them in the form of cash. And on top of this, he would say to them, don't praise me, I haven't given you anything. All I have done is whatever Allah has bestowed upon me, Allah is using me as a means to you, and I'm giving you this. His students were like, he treated his students better than you and I treat our children. Many of his students had a yearly allowance. Some of them would have even a monthly allowance. And Allahu Akbar, there were those like Imam Abu Yusuf. He says, and he was a student, that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi looked after me and my family for 20 years. 20 years he paid for that everything. 20 years. And like it should be the other way around. It should be the student supporting the ustad. And here Imam Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi was supporting everyone. I mean, every Friday he would make sure he would order for special food to be cooked for his students. Every Friday, but he would not participate once. Not once would he participate in this. And he would say to them, if I'm here, you people will not eat to your full. The character that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him was amazing. Absolutely phenomenal.